welcome to this month's exciting edition of Bowling Showcase, the only show to connect you with everything bowling in the bowling capital of the world, Metro Detroit. I'm your host, Mark Martin, and with me is my co-host, Stephanie Panksa. Welcome, Stephanie.
Hi, Mark. Well, this is it. The MDUSBC bowling season is wrapping up, and this is our last Bowling Showcase show for the season. It sure went by quickly.
It sure has. We've had a great time bringing you all the action of the 2016 bowling season. And before we say goodbye for the summer, we have one more action-packed episode featuring the final Women's Series event, the Women's Series Rep 10 Invitational, and the Michigan State Masters Tournament. Now, before we get started, I'd like to thank our host center for this month, Hazel Park Bowl.
And later on in the show, we'll take a peek around this family-friendly bowling center and learn about all they have to offer, as well as a special look at Michigan's richest bowling tournament held right here. But now, Mark, let's get this show rolling and tell us about some of the top stories making the news this month.
Women's Series participant Julie Oczepik won the prestigious 2016 State Queens Tournament held on April 2nd and 3rd at Cherry Hill Lanes in Dearborn Heights. She was the top qualifier of 51 entries and went on to remain the top seed for the stepladder finals. In the stepladder finals, she beat Angela Wilt 268 to 247 to take home the coveted Michigan State Queens title. Congratulations, Julie. And another familiar face to Bowling Showcase viewers, Robin Orlikowski was named Canadian Female Bowler of the Year. Besides being a 2015 Women's Series Cup winner, Robin has represented Team Canada for over a decade. Congratulations, Robin, and we're looking forward to seeing you back next year.
And finally, our very own host, Mark Martin, along with 17 other MDUSBC delegates, flew to Las Vegas for the National USBC Convention. While there, Mark wooed the national delegation, resulting in his re-election for a final 3-year term as director for USBC. Congratulations, Mark.
And that's all the news you need to know this month in MDUSBC.
Now let's jump right into this month's tournament action with a look at this season's last Women's Series event from 4 lanes in Dearborn on Bowling Showcase.
Excitement was in the air as the final Women's Series event took place at Ford Lanes in Dearborn Heights. With the season-long cup race neck and neck, and this final event offering triple points, it was a wide-open battle between the bowlers, with everyone bringing their A-game. Robin Orlikowski of Grand Rapids was the top qualifier with a 4-game total of 913, and Samantha Hesley of Detroit qualified second with 860. As elimination match play began, the excitement, determination, and competitiveness of the bowlers was at an all-time high. Despite her impressive qualifying scores, Orlikowski seemed to have trouble during match play. In her match against Blair Blumenscheid of Columbus, she ended up tying with a 207, then lost in a 2-frame roll-off to end her day. Samantha Hesley continued her impressive day of bowling, first beating Sandy Schultz of Macomb 215 to 198, and then Lauren Roberts of Ferndale 209 to 184 to advance to the final match. Julie Oczepik of Reese, who bowled strong all season yet never won a finals match, seemed to be on her way again to the finals. After qualifying 5th with 804, she defeated Sarah Doro of Midland 189 to 160, then Blair Blumenscheid 226 to 159 to earn her spot in the finals. Hesley and Oczepik both went confidently into the finals. Oczepik, with the calm determination of a bowler who had been in this situation before, and Hesley riding high with her impressive day of bowling, never having a game under 200 for the entire day. After battling it out, frame by frame, trading strikes and spares, Samantha Hesley just could not be beat on this day and collected the final victory of this season's Women's Series events.
Yeah, they were pretty tough. I didn't expect them to be this tough. And I expected them to hook more because they hooked a lot last month. And we ran into some problems on 3 and 4, so we had to move. But, I just tried to make adjustments and stay on top of my ball changes. And I think I switched 6 times, 6 different bowling balls, but it managed to work somehow. So I was successful.
Even though Julie Oczepik didn't win the final match, her consistent winning edge throughout the season and her second place finish today resulted in her winning the season-long cup competition by 2 points over Brandy Remia of Livonia.
We've done this 4 years, and I've been close, but so I'm really excited that I was able to capture the cup.
Capture the cup without a win.
That's right.
And here are the final cup point standings for this year's Women's Series.
Congratulations to Samantha Hesley on her impressive win.
And also congratulations to this month's Women's Series Cup winner, Julie Oczepik. What a great final Women's Series event. And later in the show, we'll bring you all the action of the Women's RIP 10 Invitational, where Julie Oczepik and the next 15-point winners faced off for the final event of the season.
Okay, Mark, we've got to keep this show rolling. So let's jump right into our next event, the Michigan State Masters Tournament from Westland Bowl.
Take it away. The state's best bowlers gathered at Westland Bowl to compete in the 2016 Michigan State Masters Tournament held on April 23rd and 24th. The bowlers competed in 6 games of qualifying, with the top 31 qualifiers plus defending champion Ronnie Sparks Jr. moving on to match play. As expected, the bowling throughout the tournament was of the highest caliber, even under very demanding lane conditions. Steve Novak of Bay City led qualifying for the second year in a row with a 6-game total of 1389. Daniel Phoenix II of Stanton recorded a perfect 300 game during qualifying. The field of 73 bowlers averaged 192 during the 6 games of qualifying, with the top 32 bowlers averaging 209. As match play began, the bowlers' skill levels and technical prowess were put on display. Corey Hines of Jackson qualified 8th with 1302. In match play, he reeled off 2-game wins over Mason Brantley of Detroit, 454 to 437, Terry Haynes from Hell, 414 to 408, Steve Novak, 472 to 427, Dale Hoffmeister of Essexville, 389 to 369, and finally Brian McMahon of Saginaw, 508 to 459 to advance to the championship match. McMahon, who qualified 7th with 1310, triumphed over Ken Ciantar of Southgate, 393 to 323, Ryan Melching of Wixom, 429 to 389, Ryan Van Heck of Chesterfield, 439 to 426, and Trey Raines of Westland, 455 to 348, before losing to Hines and falling into the loser's bracket. In the loser's bracket, he beat John Kelly of Clinton Township, 444 to 364, to advance to the final match and try to avenge that earlier loss. Hines and McMahon ensued in a seesaw battle, frame by frame. Fatigue and changing lane conditions started to grind on McMahon, while Hines, with quiet determination, continued his calm approach and mastery of the lanes. In the end, it was Hines' day to shine, and he continued his winning day by beating McMahon 421 to 351 in the title match and taking the top prize.
Yeah, seemed like I had a hard draw, but made it through all the matches, throwing good shots.
So what's your take on the lane pattern?
It was pretty tough. I mean, yesterday in qualifying it seemed pretty easy, but today it definitely hooked more and I think played truer to the pattern. It definitely played harder.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Corey Hines on his dominating win.
Watching these bowlers and seeing their skill level and competitiveness, is it any wonder why Metro Detroit is the bowling capital of the world? You know, bowling is really for everybody. Doesn't matter your age, gender, or ability, whether you're a pro, a league bowler, or a tournament bowler like these people, or just having fun on a Friday night. Bowling, it's a lifelong activity.
You can have fun, be competitive, and make lifelong friends. When was the last time you went bowling? Well, what are you waiting for? Get to your local bowling center and have some fun.
Good advice, Stephanie. Now, after a short commercial break, we'll be right back with more season-ending action.
So stick around and we'll be right back with more Bowling Showcase.
Owning and operating a bowling center is a unique business, and no one knows it like Sandy Hansel and Associates. We've been buying, selling, and valuing bowling centers for over 30 years. We've sold over 500 centers and valued more than 1,200 centers throughout the United States and Canada. We often assist the purchaser in securing financing, obtaining your liquor license transfer, and avoiding potential pitfalls unique to this business. Trust your next bowling center transaction to Sandy Hansel and Associates, bowling's only full-service broker, appraiser, and financial advisors. Visit us at sandyhansel.com. Metro Detroit USBC, your source for everything bowling in the bowling capital of the world. We support USBC certified league and tournament competition. We provide 11 tournaments for all members of our association, including men, women, youth, seniors, scratch, and handicap competition. The top reasons for belonging to the Metro Detroit USBC are having your average recognized, bonding of league funds, rules of the game, assistance in resolving league issues, equipment standards of the game, charities, and awards. Visit us at mdusbc.com.
Welcome back. And now Mark has a special guest to tell us about our host center for this month, Hazel Park Bowl. Take it away, Mark.
I'm here with Mike Luceni, the owner of Hazel Park Bowl and the proprietor of the Hamtramck Singles Classic, Michigan's largest tournament and richest tournament. Mike, how long have you been involved with this?
We've had the Hamtramck for 20 years, Mike, and it's been a great experience for us to keep this tradition going. It's 66 years old now.
Okay. Started originally in Hamtramck.
Started at the Palladium in Hamtramck on Joseph Campo.
You've had different people win this over the event. See, it's not just your high average bowler that wins, right?
No, we've had handicap and scratch players win the tournament, and it's been fairly balanced in the last 20 years.
Okay. You get 20,000 first place. What does 20th place pay?
20th place paid last year $1,000. Top 30 got $1,000. The top 50 got $325.
That's a pretty good payoff for a pretty small entry fee relatively, right?
When I check all the tournaments in the area and all around the country, the Hamtramck is the deepest payoff of all the tournaments. Well, you don't have to win to make a profit.
Well, again, thank you very much for having us here today. Good luck in your tournament for the balance of this year and in the ensuing years. You know, we'll get to 67 next year and beyond. And so congratulations, Mike.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark, and a big thank you to Mike Lucenti, Joanne Taylor, and Hazel Park Bowl. Remember, later on in the show, Mark will have a special feature on Michigan's richest bowling tournament, the Hamtramck Singles Classic, happening right here at Hazel Park Bowl. So stick around for that. But now, let's take a look at the RIP 10 Women's Series Invitational from Shelby Lanes, right here on Bowling Showcase.
At the end of a long and highly competitive 2016 Women's Series, the top 16 on the points list were invited to participate in this very special event held at Shelby Lanes in Shelby Township. Women's Series Cup winner Julia Oczepik was joined by fellow competitors Brandy Reamy, Katie Bishop, Sandy Schultz, Sarah Doro, Nicole Harrison, Blair Blumenscheid, Lauren Roberts, and 8 other highly skilled women bowlers all competing for the final prize of the season. After 4 games of qualifying, Lauren Roberts of Ferndale emerged as the day's top qualifier with a 4-game total of 857. The other day's qualifiers were Julia Oczepik of Reese, Kathleen Kowalski of Livonia, and Katie Bishop of Westland. After the qualifying rounds, the 4 ladies moved on to single-game stepladder match play. As the day's top qualifier, Lauren Roberts was automatically seeded into the final match and patiently waited the other matches to find out who her opponent would be. Katie Bishop, who was a little surprised by making the cut, made the most of her opportunities in her first match against Kathleen Kowalski. As both ladies had trouble with consistency, Bishop slowly started to pull away in the later frames of the match. Her ball creating incredible pin action and forcing the pins to fall. By the 10th frame, it was clear that Bishop was bowling stronger than earlier in the day and easily beat Kowalski 224 to 153. Next up, Bishop took on Points Cup champion Julia Oczepik, who bowled strong and consistent all day and seemed to be the heavy favorite to take the match. But Bishop had other plans on her mind. With increased confidence, skill, and sheer power, she met Oczepik pin for pin. Once again, showing off her incredible pin action, she started slowly pulling away from Oczepik. But neither lady was willing to just hand over to defeat and fought tooth and nail until the final frame. In the 10th frame, Bishop needed 9 pins to beat Oczepik, and that's just what she got, winning the match and earning the right to face off against Roberts in the final. The final match was just as competitive and exciting as the matches before. Roberts started off slowly, but quickly regained her winning ways. Bishop, she continued to bowl at her usual high level, and the 2 ladies battled back and forth. Strikes and spares, each lady battled every frame. But in the end, Katie Bishop capped off her day with a win, narrowly beating Roberts 201 to 191. You were over 200 every game in the match play and the stepladder. That was wonderful.
Yeah, I just made a couple adjustments and just got myself to calm down a little bit and get into a good tempo.
I just looked a little shorter. I was really focused on trying to get the ball down the lane. There wasn't a ton of oil on the lanes today, so I was just really focused on trying to extend and get the ball down there. Otherwise, it was left of the head pin.
After an intense day of bowling, the ladies joined in fellowship for a luncheon and awarding of the season-long points checks. With all the bowlers looking forward to next season, it was a great way to bring this 2016 Women's Series to a close.
Congratulations to Katie Bishop on her RIP 10 Women's Series Invitational win. And a big congratulations and thank you to all this year's Lady Bowlers. Next, it's time to boost your bowling IQ when we return with more Bowling Showcase.
.300 isn't just a number, it is our destination. Shouting at a ball will make it strike more. Nothing is as satisfying as hurling dangerously heavy spheres at stationary objects and watching X's fill the frames. You know it, we know it. So here's to the ballers, the lane dwellers, the alley cats. We are DV8. Tonight we bowl. For all the latest DV8 product information, visit your local pro shop or check out damngoodbowling.com.
Welcome back to Bowling Showcase. Now it's time to boost your bowling IQ with Metro Detroit Bowling and Resource Center's gold coach, Lou Marquez.
So we finally reached our final tip for this season. This tip, we want to expand your versatility. We want you to get matched up to varying different conditions that are out there. Maybe you're the one house bowler that knows where to stand, knows where that target is, and has that one perfect release for it, and you're satisfied with that. But it's competitive season now. It's the summertime, time to expand our game, time to learn some new things. So with this tip, we're going to talk about the release options that you can create to expand your versatility and match up to varying lane conditions that are out there. So we're going to bring Coach Rebecca Keegan in again one more time to show her A-game release and some release options that she'll use to be competitive. So let's get started. So we've gone ahead and marked Coach Rebecca Keegan's bowling ball, and for many of you, you're wondering, why is this piece of tape here on the bowling ball? Well, we identified her track. She's a right-handed bowler, and we identified her oil rings in her track, and we know that for every release point, there is an axis in which the ball revolves around. So this axis point here is what we consider the positive axis point, and then on the opposite side we have a negative axis point, or think of it like an axle on the tires of a car. This bowling ball is going to revolve around this point as it's traveling down the lane. So that'll be our marker so that we can identify the different release types. So we're going to ask Coach Rebecca Keegan to make a shot here. So Coach, go ahead and throw your normal release with your normal A-game technique, your favorite one off of your fingers. There you go. That's it. Okay, we're going to take a look at Coach Rebecca Keegan's normal release, which we consider an 80 degrees relative to the foul line. And what she uses that is her day-to-day release point. Let's go ahead and move that ball to a 10-degree release, or a little bit less of a direction where it's more end over end. Smaller the angle, the more end over end the release. And we're going to demonstrate these shots so you can see the power of the versatility of her hand position at the release point. There you go. So you just observed Rebecca taking two different shots with two different release points, one at 80 degrees and one at 10 degrees. Both of these shots create certain types of reaction on the lane. One creating more back-end reaction, more dynamic motion, and one creating more of a forward direction to create more control. Depending on the environment that you're going to need a different hand position in, you can use these options and develop your game for more versatility. So we learned a lot about our physical game through all the different months, these last few tips, working on versatility, working on your technique. But if you really, really want to improve and you want to spend the time and really understand your game a little bit more, come out and visit us here at the Metro Detroit Bowling and Resource Center. We've got all summer to work on your game and get ready for the next season. For the center, I'm Coach Lou Marquez. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Lou, for your season-long tricks, tips, and techniques. Now, Stephanie has been teasing this the whole show, so I won't keep you waiting any longer. Let's take a look at Michigan's largest and richest bowling tournament going on right here, right now at Hazel Park Bowl. The Hamtramck Singles Classic is happening right now at Hazel Park Bowl. This event, now in its 66th year, is Michigan's largest and richest bowling tournament. It began 66 years ago in Hamtramck at Palladium Lanes. This tournament brings in bowlers from across the country to compete in this 7-month-long event. Bowlers bowl 4 games across 8 lanes, posting their score with handicap and scratch in an attempt to win the top prizes. Each year, several thousand people participate in the event. Hazel Park Bowl is the home of the Hamtramck Singles Classic, as it has been for many years. The key to the tournament is squad organizers. Squad organizers organize a group of their friends, anywhere from 24 to 120, and bring them to this fantastic event.
Junior Joyner was the squad leader of this squad. He passed away in January, and I think if it wasn't for him, this squad wouldn't be half as big as it is. And we still have a waiting list of over 50 people, and it's all due to Junior Joyner.
There's still time to join in the fun and give yourself or your squad a chance at that $20,000 first place prize. The tournament runs through July 24th, and if you'd like more information, contact Hazel Park Bowl at 248-543-7303 or visit hamtramck.com. Well, that's about it. The MD-USBC bowling season has come to an end, and so has the inaugural season of Bowling Showcase. We hope you've enjoyed all the bowling action, stories, head-to-head competition, and well, just about everything we put into our show.
We've had a great time bringing you Bowling Showcase magazine and head-to-head matches with the Bowling Showcase Challenge Edition. Why don't you stay in touch with us over the summer by connecting with us at Bowling Showcase on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, or email us at bowlingshowcase@gmail and let us know what you think.
Now remember, you can watch rebroadcasts of this show and more at mdusbc.com. So we want to thank you again for watching and making sure to tune in next season for all the new episodes. We'll close out this show with some highlights from this past season. For my co-host Stephanie Penksa, I'm Mark Martin. Have a safe summer, and we'll see you next time from the bowling capital of the world on Bowling Showcase.